Hi friends, welcome to Biology Tutor. I am Dr. Vimal. Today we are going to discuss about Food Safety Management System. Food Safety Management System. Food Safety Management System is a network of interrelated elements that combine to ensure that food does not cause adverse human health effects. This is the overall food safety management system for a food production company or food production institutes. FSMS means the adoption of GMPs, good manufacturing practices, good hygiene practices, HACCPs, hazard analysis, critical control points, and other such practices. FSMS includes procedures and controls laid down by FSSAI. Schedule 4 of FSSR. Every food business operator applying for licensing must have documented FSMS plan. If a food company is applying for a license, they must have a documented FSMS plan and comply with Schedule 4 of FSS. It is according to the regulations 2011. Schedule 4 introduces the concept of FSMS based on implementation of GMP and GHP by food businesses and is divided into 5 parts. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4 and Part 5. Key elements of FSMS. Good practices, pre-requisite programs, hazard analysis and critical control points, management element, statutory and regulatory requirements, and communication. Pre-requisite programs. HACCP deals with hazards that are significant for food safety. In order to implement HACCP in a food company, we need pre-requisite programs that are known as PRPs. It includes GAP, GHP, and GMP. Thus, PRPs must be working effectively within a commodity system before HACCP is applied. Principles of PRP. PRP has 8 general principles of food hygiene: primary production, establishment, design and facilities, control of operations, maintenance and sanitation, personal hygiene, transportation, product information and consumer awareness, and the last one is training. Good agricultural practices. What are good agricultural practices? Good agricultural practices are practices that ensure environmental, economical and social sustainability for on-farm practices, resulting in safe and quality food and non-food agricultural products. What is GHP or good hygiene practices? Food hygiene has been defined by Codex as all conditions and measures necessary to ensure the safety and suitability of food at all stages of the food chain. That is known as good hygiene practices. Good manufacturing practices. GMP ensure products are consistently produced and controlled according to quality standards at the various stages of processing, storage, and transportation till food reaches to its consumers. HACCP means hazard analysis and critical control points, is a science-based system which systematically identifies, evaluates and controls hazards which are significant for food safety. It is a mandatory process to implement HACCP in a food industry. Food safety is addressed through the analysis and control of biological, chemical and physical hazards from raw material production to the finished product step. HACCP is based on the following 7 principles. How many working principles are there for HACCP? It may ask for exam. HACCP is based on the following 7 principles. Conduct a hazard analysis, determine the critical control points, that is CCP, establish critical limits, establish monitoring procedures, What is conduct a hazard analysis? It is used to identify a potential hazard, physical, chemical, biological or allergen. Next one, determine the critical control point, CCPs. A step or procedure where the food hazard can be prevented, eliminated or reduced to a safe level, that is known as CCP. Establishment critical limits. A measurable, observable parameter that must be achieved to control a hazard, that is establish critical limits. The fourth one, establish monitoring procedures. Establish a system to monitor control of the critical control point. Next, fifth step, establish corrective actions. Sixth one is establish verification procedures. Seventh one, establish record keeping and documentation procedures. Next one, procedures necessary to develop a HACCP plan can be grouped into three components. First one is pre-requisite programs. Second one is preliminary HACCP steps. The third one is HACCP steps. There are 12 steps in HACCP. 7 principles and 12 steps. In the preliminary HACCP steps, it includes assemble the HACCP team, describe the food and its distribution, describe the intended use and consumers of food. The fourth one, develop a flow diagram which describes the process. Fifth one, verify the accuracy of the flow diagram. The 7 HACCP steps or 7 principles. Step 1, conduct a hazard analysis, identify critical control points, set critical limits, and up to establish record keeping and documentation procedures. It may ask for exams how many steps are involved. There are 12 steps for HACCP. How many principles are there? 7 principles are there. How many preliminary HACCP steps are there? 5. Internationally, there are many food safety certifications that meet the requirements of FSMS, that are HACCP, ISO 22000, FSSC 22000. HACCP certification. It is a system that recognizes that food business has developed, documented and implemented systems and procedures in accordance with HACCP. HACCP is mandatory for food industry. It is an international standard defining the requirements for effective control of food safety. ISO 22000. ISO 22000 is an international standard which defines the steps an organization must take to demonstrate its ability to control food safety hazards and food is safe for human consumption. HACCP is a part of ISO 22000. The ISO was first published in 2005. First revision was in 2018. ISO 22000 is based on HACCP guidelines in accordance with Codex Alimentarius and the management principles of ISO 9001. ISO 22000 is not recognized by Global Food Safety Initiative or GSFI and is broad in scope. FSSC 22000. What is FSSC 22000? FSSC 22000 means Food Safety System Certification 22000. It is an international standard developed for the certification of food safety management system for food manufacturers. It combines the requirements of ISO 22000 and PAS 220. The FSSC 22000 scheme is fully recognized by GSFI. Now PAS 220 is replaced by ISO or TS 22000-1. The requirements of ISO TS 22000-1 must be addressed by companies preparing for FSSC 22000 certification. There are different PRP requirements depending on your industry. For food processing, ISO TS 22000-1. For catering, ISO TS 22000-2. For farming, 22000-3. And for food packaging manufacturing, 22000-4. 4. It is the overview of assurance and management system in food industry. Quality assurance. It relates to the product and involves all the safety assurance systems like GMP, GHP and HACCP. Quality management corresponds to a company's overall organization as regards the product's quality, including the safety, and involves the remaining quality management systems QMS, ISO 9000 and ISO 14000, as well as total quality management TQM, QMS. What is QMS? It is a quality management system. It is a set of coordinated activities to direct and control an organization in order to continually improve the effectiveness and efficiency of its performance. The 8 principles are customer focus, leadership, and up to mutually beneficial supplier relationship. ISO 9000 is a QMS. ISO 9000 is a quality management system. TQM means total quality management, is a business management strategy aimed at embedding awareness of quality in all organizational processes. TQM aims at continuous improvement in organizations and focuses primarily on total satisfaction of consumers. There are different strategies. Other continuous improvement strategies are Kaizen, designed by Japan, Six Sigma, and Lean strategies. That are the examples of different types of improvement strategies of TQM. Organizations for Food Safety, International Standards, Codex Alimentarius Commission (CAC), International Organization for Standardization, World Health Organization, World Trade Organization. These are the international standards organization. National standard organizations: Food Safety Standards Authority of India, BIS, ISI, AGMARK. Codex Alimentarius Commission or CAC. The Codex Alimentarius is a collection of standards, guidelines and codes of practice adopted by the Codex Alimentarius Commission. It creates a harmonized international food standards to protect the health of consumers and ensure fair trade practices. Headquarters is situated at Rome. The term Codex Alimentarius is Latin and means food code. The Commission is a joint intergovernmental body established jointly by FAO and WHO in May 1963 with the objective of protecting consumers' health and ensuring fair practices in food trade. In 1969, the Codex Alimentarius recommended International Code of Practice, General Principles of Food Hygiene. The Agreement on Application of Sanitary and Phytosanitary Measures of the World Trade Organization recognizes Codex standards, guidelines, and recommendations as reference standards for international trade and trade dispute settlement. Currently, the Codex Alimentarius Commission has 189 Codex members, made of 188 member countries and one member organization, that is the European Union. India became the member of Codex Alimentarius in 1964. You should remember that particular point. It may ask for exam. India became the member of Codex Alimentarius in 1964. Codex standards and related texts are voluntary in nature. They need to be translated into national legislation of regulations in order to be enforceable. In India, FSSAI needs to be implement the specific regulations of Codex rules. National Codex Committee (NCC). The NCC India has been constituted by the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India for keeping liaison with the Codex Alimentarius Commission. Codex India. What is Codex India? National Codex Conduct Point (NCCP). It coordinates and promotes Codex activities in India in association with the National Codex Committee and facilitates India's input to the work of Codex through an established consultation process. It is located at FSSAI in New Delhi. International Organization for Standardization ISO. ISO is derived from Greek isos meaning equal. It is an independent, non-governmental international organization with a membership of 164 national standards bodies. It is established in 1947. It is located in Geneva, Switzerland. All ISO standards are voluntary. There are different ISO families: ISO 9000 family, quality management, 14,000 family, environmental management, 45,001, occupation health and safety, 50,001, energy management, 22,000, food safety management, ISO or IEC 27,001, information security management. National standards. In India, there are two types of standards which govern the sale of foods. These are legal standards and quality standards. Legal standard, it means the specification or requirements by the law of the government of India. It should meet certain minimum requirements in terms of chemical quality, bacteriological quality, and labeling and packaging requirements. Legal standards are compulsory. Quality standards. Government of India has already given a specific regulations for keeping the quality of food products. They should keep the minimum quality standards according to that are known as quality standards. They are on voluntary basis. BIS, ISI standards, AGMARK standards, Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. FSSAI is an autonomous body established under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, which has been established under the Food Safety and Standards Act 2006. The legislation that dealt with food safety in India was the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act (PFA) Act in 1954. PFA is now replaced with FSSAI. 8 laws which were in operation prior to the enforcement of FSSAI were repealed. That are the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954, the Fruit Products Order 1955, up to Essential Commodities Act 1955 in relation to food. FSSAI is the supreme authority responsible for regulating and supervising the food safety. It is mandatory for all the food business operators in order to obtain an FSSAI license or food licenses. In order to bring in consistency in enforcing the food safety regulations, FSSAI launched its initiative that is known as One Nation, One Food Law. It ensures uniform implementation of norms for testing and sampling by various states and labs. Next one, Bureau of Indian Standards. BIS is the national standards body of India working under the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, formerly the Indian Standards Institution ISI. It is established by the Bureau of Indian Standards Act 1986. BIS was established as the National Standards Body of India according to BIS Act of 2016. BIS is voluntary, but in 1987, BIS has made it compulsory or mandatory for certain items to have ISI mark. The ISI mark is Standards Compliance Mark for industrial products in India. The ISI mark is the most recognized certification mark in the Indian subcontinent. Agricultural marketing, AGMARK. It is certification mark employed on agricultural products in India, assuring that they conform to a set of standards approved by the Directorate of Marketing and Inspection. AGMARK is legally enforced in India by Agricultural Produce Act of 1937 and it is amended in 1986. Agriculture and allied commodities are graded as 1, 2, 3 and 4 or special, food, air and ordinary. That is all about FSMS. Thank you. If you like this channel, please share and subscribe. Don't forget to click the bell button to get notification.